Hello everyone and welcome to Storytime. My name is Steven and today we're going to be reading some I Don't Work Here Lady Stories. Tales of some of the most awkward, frustrating, or otherwise inconvenient exchanges one could have. And let me just say, if you're not already subscribed to Storytime, please consider doing so. But with that being said, let's sit back, relax, and listen to some captivating Reddit stories. I didn't design your dang shirts, Karen. Tale from years ago when I worked for a consulting firm. Sorry if the details are a little fuzzy, this was a long time ago. I'm also long-winded and sleep-deprived, so it's a rambling one. The office layout on my floor had 4 private offices that were for 4 different independent contractors. One specialized in graphic design, one in copywriting, one in media sales, and one in advertising campaigns. All of the assistants for these different specialists sat in one large room out front at our tiny desks. Each of us worked for only one of the consultants, but were happy to pass on basic information to the other ones. We, however, had no contact info or calendar access for anyone else's boss. I was sitting at my desk doing SEO work when Karen flung open the front door violently enough it actually banged against the wall. I was the closest to the door, so I jumped and looked over. Karen took this as a cue to storm over to my desk and throw down a CD. "Did you people make this?" she snarled. I pick up the CD and look at her. No idea what the freak she was talking about. Was my brilliant reply. "Did you people make this?" "Oh, good. Volume was the only reason I didn't know what you were talking about. Thanks, Karen." Karen snatches the CD back from me. "We had these t-shirts designed by graphic designer dude, and he gave us these files and the printer said they're all messed up. He ripped us off." "Oh, so graphic design dude made this for you? Well, he's not here right now." Karen launches into a loud, profane tirade questioning my ability, my education, my personal attractiveness and parentage, which, yeah, aren't the best, but that has nothing to do with her stupid t-shirts. I finally pull out my mom/librarian voice. I am neither, but you know the voice I mean. Ma'am, surprising us both, Karen stopped talking. "Ma'am, I do not work for Graphic Dude. Best I can do is give you a pen and paper to write him a note. But if you worked with him, you should have his email or phone. Email is the best way to get in touch with him." "When will he be back in the office?" "No idea. I don't work for him. You'd best call or email him or leave a note." "Well, go in his office and check his calendar and tell me where he is." "No, couldn't even if I wanted to. His office is shut and locked." "Well, unlock it." "I don't have a key. We just work in the same building." "Call him and tell him I'm here and I need to speak with him." "No, I don't have his number and I'm not his secretary." "Not really true. I have his number, but heck no, I'm not playing receptionist. I spent a ton of money with you and I demand..." "Ma'am, you do not spend a ton of money with me. I don't work for Graphic Dude." Yeah, you don't do the computer stuff. You're just the secretary. Now get him on the phone." I took a second to figure out how me sitting in front of the computer and using it when she came in equals not doing the computer stuff, or how secretary equals no computers. But this wasn't the brightest tool in the box, and she was giving me a headache. So I went to my boss and asked her to dislodge the Karen Barnacle from my life. "Ma'am, I'd be happy to give a message to Graphic Guy." "Where is he?" "I don't know. You can leave a message." "Are you the manager?" "Yes." She's a consultant. She is self-employed by her own company, so I guess she is her own manager. Technically mine too, but neither of us were sure what Karen was going for here. "Well, I want to speak to the owner." "Owner of what, exactly?" Karen turns and points at me. I kid you not, this woman snarls, "That girl there." My boss and I are sharing a look. My boss says to Karen, very slowly, "You want to speak to her owner?" Karen nods emphatically. "I want her fired." Other guy in my office pipes up, "Don't you mean disowned?" My boss glares at him. "Ma'am, I am her boss and I'm not firing her. And we have nothing to do with Graphic Dude. We can't help you. Please leave and try to get in touch with him on your own." More shrieking. Karen is now questioning both my boss and my boss's work ethic, personal grooming, and voting preferences. My best guess is she got herself all worked up into a righteous indignation rage at the t-shirt issue before she came in, and she just transferred all that ire to me because I opposed her will. but her anger at me for not working for Graphic Dude is way out of proportion. Graphic Dude's assistant has just walked into the office during all this, and being the accommodating soul he is, offers to look at the file. Karen stomps over and hands it to him while he explains that Graphic Dude is out of town at a wedding and won't be back until Tuesday. Graphic Dude, by the way, does not do any work outside the office, which upsets Karen more. The file opens up for Graphic Dude's assistant dude. It's some hideous summer family reunion t-shirt. Other dude looks at Karen. "So what's wrong with it?" Karen scowls. "The screen printer said the file is all messed up." Graphic Dude's assistant dude looks confused. "It's fine." "No, it's not," she shrieks. Now other guy is trying to explain that the file is fine, but she can get in touch with Graphic Dude next week. Not good enough for Karen. She keeps yelling while assistant dude looks at the image more closely. "Oh, are you Mrs. Karen McWitchface?" "Yes." "Oh, okay, I can fix this for you." Karen smiled broadly, praises him in a sickeningly sweet, good puppy manner, and saunters over to us to explain how she's still going to get us all fired. "And it's about time, blah blah blah." Assistant dude comes over and hands her a new disc and sends her on her merry way. My boss goes back to her office and shuts the door, telling me to not come get her if that harpy ever comes back in. I look at Assistant Dude, who is grinning. Assistant Dude is a college sophomore Graphic Dude grossly underpaid to gain experience, and he gives no poops. So I know something is up. "Okay, Assistant Dude, what did you do?" "Come take a look." On his computer is the image Karen wanted on her t-shirts, open from the disc she brought in. Freaking Comic Sans McWitch Family Reunion 20XX with a dumb picture. Okay. "And here's what I just saved on a new disc for her," and shows the same image where he has replaced the text with "Idiot Pay Me" and a middle finger graphic. Assistant Dude is smiling. "I remembered her name finally," he said. Graphic Dude was ticked. She told him this sob story about why she couldn't pay half up front like we normally do, and he made an exception. Then once she had the file, she refused to pay for it. Originally, we were going to get the shirts printed for her, but she stiffed us and took the file and ran. She figured she could just get them printed herself. I told Graphic Dude not to give her a print-ready file for approval, but he thought since we were going to handle the shirt order, yeah. I get it now. She likely went to the cheap local screen print shop that I happen to know doesn't have anywhere close to the latest version of any graphic programs. This comes up a lot in this office. If a customer uses that shop, the shop guy will try to open a file saved from the latest version of graphic software and go, "Can't open it, go get it saved as an earlier version," and sends customers back. This Karen wasn't bright enough to remember anything past "File no work, you bad." And of course, you were all probably quicker than me and realized what it took a minute to dawn on me. Karen gave Assistant Dude her disc. He saved the new image on a new disc and gave it to her. She left the original file in our office. So unless she was smart enough to make a copy, she now no longer has the file she stiffed Graphic Design Dude on. I am sad to say that she never came back in. I hate a story with no follow-up, but such is life. Myself, I hope she got the shirts printed without anyone catching the file change. I brought Assistant Dude some banana bread I baked the next day to thank him for his efforts. This is just an absolutely beautiful way of getting back at somebody who tried to cheat the company. All I can say is I personally also hope that she didn't realize the change and managed to get it printed. Hopefully Assistant Dude realized that and saved it in an early enough version so that they could have gotten it printed out. Imagine this Karen's face if she got the t-shirts printed out and they all say "Idiot Pay Me" and a middle finger graphic on it. That would be great. Scrubs are now grocery store uniforms. So this happened about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years. As a bit of background, I'm from Spain, but I'm studying medicine in Bulgaria. Now, I study in English, but my patients speak Bulgarian, so I'm quite good with it. I'm not fluent at daily conversations though. I'm better at talking about someone's appendicitis than about the last show they watched. It is not that relevant, but it is the reason why I tend to speak in short sentences when I'm using it. I live near the university hospital and there's a grocery store right by it. So when I go grocery shopping there, it usually is after class, and most of the time I'm in my scrubs. I've done this about 1,000 times. I'm not new to the area or anything. The employees wear a uniform consisting of black jeans and a red shirt with the store logo on the back. This particular day, I do remember being especially mad at the world. It was a Friday and we used to have class with this crazy butt doctor who was a piece of work. Sexist, racist, anti-Semitic, so into conspiracies you might as well wear a tinfoil hat, and once told me I would get cancer and die if I kept wearing lipstick. I was not a happy bunny. So I was doing some shopping, earbuds jammed into my ears, metal blasting and trying to cleanse myself of the past few hours. It wasn't working. When the following happened. Note, unless I say otherwise, the conversation took place in Bulgarian. Lady asks something. I don't hear, so I take my earphones off. Sorry, what? Where's the bleach? I don't know. I show the milk I'm buying. Not here. You have to know. What? Why? It's your job. Me thinking I misheard, plastering on a smile. What? You work here. No, I don't. Then why are you dressed like this? I'm wearing baby blue scrubs. Now I'm thinking she might have taken offense for wearing them outside the hospital. I just had a class at the hospital. No, your clothes are confusing. If you don't work here, you shouldn't confuse people. Goes on a tirade about my scrubs. Me in Spanish. Oh, freak right off, lady. Let me live. And I walk away. I know this isn't the best in the subreddit by a long stretch, but between how mad I already was and how baffled she left me, it stuck on my memory. I swear, I'd have been less confused if she'd asked me why is a raven like a writing desk. I don't even understand why scrubs is something that will confuse people. Aren't scrubs like a pretty identifiable outfit as to what profession they're for? I would think if I saw somebody in scrubs, I would probably respect them more for it, not complain that they're confusing me for even like remotely looking like staff of a store or wherever I'm at. I don't know what this lady was on about. I don't work here, lady, but I don't want that one employee to stress over the 100th thing that day. Sorry, I guess. So a few years back, I think I was 17, I went to a very low price retailer which sells just clothes. I tried some things on and put the clothes back to where I've got them. This lady comes up to me and asks me where to find XY, and I didn't get it at first, and since I have seen it, I said I guess it is there? Points to the lane which I thought the item presumably was in. Lady then asks some other question and I finally get it that she thinks I'm working there. So I say that I don't know the answers and that I don't work here. The lady then asks me in a quite upset manner why did I bring back the clothes to their place of origin. I answered with that I'm a nice person and I don't want to burden the person who works alone in this store to bring the clothes back that I got by myself because she seems like she had a lot to do and watch for thefts. Was I wrong? Is this good behavior? I think that's great behavior. I think that's honestly what the etiquette for this kind of thing should be, shouldn't it? If you get something off a rack or whatever aisle or whatever, shouldn't you bring it back? I think that's the most common sense thing to do, unless you're really lazy and you're that kind of person that doesn't. Unless it's something that I literally can't return to the condition it was in, like sometimes you might be able to not fit like shoes in the box. I've been guilty of that. I'll at least try to leave it in some kind of manageable position. I think it's just good etiquette regardless to try to return something to its original condition if you don't buy it. But with that being said, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for listening to and watching the Storytime channel. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing and leave any feedback you can in the comments below. Thank you all again for watching and listening to the Storytime channel.